One of the goals of Toastmasters is to get better at public speaking, standing in front of a group of people, being ready to present, but it doesn't always go perfectly. So I'd like to share a couple of stories from professional speakers who have shared when something went wrong. My first story comes from a man by the name of Jerome Claveau. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but something along those lines. And Jerome says this. He says, I had been invited to act as a presenter and ceremony master for an award ceremony at Laval University in Quebec City. The ceremony was about student leadership and entrepreneurship. And since I'm an entrepreneur, I was thrilled to give awards to promising young persons, but the pressure was on. The organizers knew my work. They knew my ability to speak in front of huge crowds, and I didn't want to disappoint them. In fact, they asked me to do it because there were a lot of important persons and industrial big shots, and they wanted the ceremony to be absolutely perfect. Just before going on stage, I decided to make some last-minute changes to my introduction. I decided to invert the order of two sentences. So I decided to take my pen and with a big, bold arrow, drew an arrow from one sentence to the other sentence. I was sure to see and remember the change. Or so I thought. I walked to the lectern, cleared my voice, and said, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen." Looked down at my notes and nothing. I could not figure out the arrows anymore. I got lost at the first sentence. I looked up at the crowd and there were about 250 people staring at me with the look of, "Are you kidding?" on their faces. So I took a deep breath. I raised up my notes real high. I turned them 180 degrees and I said, "Oh, now that's much better." Everyone laughed and I went on, but I still don't know how I came up with the solution to hide my fail. The second story comes from Lee Rogers. Lee Rogers said he was traveling with a Sister Cities Chamber of Commerce business exchange group to Nagoya, Japan. I was asked to speak after breakfast about marketing in the US, and seeing an opportunity to show off my linguistic skills, I asked my interpreter how to pronounce the words on the distant signs for ladies and gentlemen. After practicing to myself, I began my speech with, "Good morning, ladies and gentlemen," in Japanese. This got quite the reaction from the audience. I delivered a killer 20-minute speech about marketing wisdom, and I sat down to a generous applause. I was quite pleased with myself. Only later did I learn how strange my greeting truly was. One of our hosts gently inquired why I had started my talk with, "Good morning, toilets and urinals." My fellow Toastmasters are most welcome guests. As you can see, public speaking is a lifelong learning process. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.